feel like a kid at fucking show and tell with all my stuff here. Hey guys, look. Wait. Hey, what's up everybody, Dakota here, and in this video I wanted to talk about the difference between America and Italy when it comes to hormone replacement therapy and just getting testosterone and that whole process. If you don't already know, I am currently living in Italy. I am originally from the United States, specifically Texas, but I moved to Italy in September and I am currently going to school here. So I did have to go through the process of changing from a clinic in Dallas to a clinic here in Italy so that I could continue to take testosterone. As far as the processes go, for timelines, I think in America, I started seeing a therapist when I was 17 for my gender dysphoria, and around the time that I was 18, right before my 18th birthday, I got diagnosed with gender dysphoria. And then once I turned 18, I went to Planned Parenthood, and using their informed consent, I was able to start testosterone. And so I think that whole process took me a little over a year, almost 2 years, I want to say. And then in Italy, it took me less than a month to find a doctor and make an appointment and get my prescription filled. So timeline-wise, the process in America was much, much longer, but I do believe that that is because I was just starting the entire process in America, whereas in Italy, I'm just starting the process of refilling my prescription and getting blood work done, essentially. So I'm not looking for a doctor that can help me start my medical transition here. I was just looking for one who could help me continue my medical transition here. So I think that's the reason why it took so long in America versus very little time here in Italy. At this point, I have been on testosterone for over 3 years. I am over a year post-op top surgery, and all of my legal documents are changed. They all say male, they all say Dakota, so on and so forth. I have all of my documents here with me, including court orders, diagnosis letters from my therapists and doctors. Literally any legal document you could ask for, I've got it. I went through the whole 9 yards before I moved here because I wanted to be as sure and as safe as I possibly could. I wanted 0 hiccups and I didn't want to jump through any hoops. So as far as pricing goes, in America, like I said, I was visiting Planned Parenthood for the majority of my transition. I really only recently left Planned Parenthood, I believe. Maybe in like 2019 I left Planned Parenthood and I started seeing a different doctor in a clinic in Austin, and then when I moved back to Dallas with my family, I saw a different doctor in a different clinic in Dallas. But for the bulk of my transition, I was seeing a doctor at Planned Parenthood, and I would say that those visits cost me an average between 150 American dollars to 200 American dollars, depending on if I did blood work, if it was just a regular checkup, if I had to refill my prescription, and that is including insurance coverage, okay, 150 to 200 US dollars, including my insurance coverage. The health insurance that I have, it's not exactly trans friendly, so it didn't really cover much of my appointments in my testosterone prescription. It covered some, but it was like the bare minimum. And then when I would have to go pick up my testosterone from the pharmacy, I believe 2 vials would cost me over $20, and if I got anything more than that, of course the price would increase. And I also used GoodRx, so I had a couple coupons from them, which helped bring down the price of testosterone as well, but still $20 for 2 vials. Now for Italy, I don't have any insurance here. So I do have coverage for my American health insurance while I am living here. However, it doesn't cover like regular doctor's appointments and shit like that. It literally only covers emergency like hospital visits. So I'm paying basically out of pocket. I'm going private with this endocrinologist that I'm seeing now, so I'm paying a bit more than what people would be paying for if they went public, but I decided to go private because I don't want to worry about like waiting or anything like that. My initial appointment with this new endocrinologist was 120 euros, which is about 143 American dollars, and then when I went and filled my prescription, it was 6 vials. That cost me 72 euros, which is about 86 American dollars. It's really not that different paying without insurance here because it's cheaper already, 1, and 2, like I said, the insurance that I had in Texas didn't really cover jack shit. So it's not really something that I'm worried about, or it's not something that I was worried about. So when I moved here, again, I got here in September and I had gotten a refill from my doctor in Dallas that lasted me through December. And then once I made my appointment with my new endocrinologist here in Italy, he switched me to a new type of testosterone. In America, I was using a type of testosterone that's not available here in Italy, so my new doctor switched me to Sustanon. He said that there were 3 options. He said that I could do a shot every 20 days, take a shot every 6 months, or I could switch to gel. but he did tell me that gel in Italy was very expensive. I think he said it was somewhere in the 300 euro range, and I do not have that type of money, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. I did intramuscular shots when I first started testosterone back in 2017. I'll just go back to doing those shots again, so I chose Sustanon. I used to do subcutaneous shots in my stomach every week. Every Monday I would do a subcutaneous shot of 0.3 milliliters. So my needle was very short, very thin. I just went right under the skin. But with Sustanon, you have to do intramuscular shots. So I switched back to intramuscular shots. I got the big long needles again, and this is what a vial of the Sustanon looks like. This is the tiny little vial. It holds my entire dose in just one vial. So now I do one intramuscular shot in either my thigh or my butt cheek every 20 days of exactly 1 milliliter of Sustanon, and that's it. I just put a reminder in my phone, and yeah, every 20 days. Not only am I saving money just in general with the decreased cost of doctor's visits and medication costs, but I'm also saving money because I don't have to continuously worry about, oh, I'm almost out of syringes, I'm almost out of needles, or oh, I have to go get my refill. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. It's put off a bit longer than it used to be. So I think that also helps me save money in the long run. A couple people asked me if I needed to have translated versions of my documents when I went and saw the endocrinologist here in Italy, and I believe the correct answer would be yes, you do need a translated version of your documents. However, I personally didn't get my documents translated, which is a bit of a mishap on my part, but thank God for my wonderful girlfriend. She came with me to my appointment and was able to translate everything. If I had any questions for the doctor and vice versa, she was there to help. So super grateful for that. But for future reference, yes, you will most likely need your documents to be translated. The endocrinologist that I'm seeing now is considered private, so I do pay a bit more than what someone who is sticking with the public healthcare route would pay. But on the opposite end, I didn't have to wait. It took me like 3 weeks to find a doctor, contact him, make an appointment, and get my prescriptions. I've heard stories of people who went public and they've waited years to start testosterone, they've waited years to get top surgery, and I was like, look, I don't need to wait years just to refill my prescription. I'm just gonna go private, pay what I have to pay, just get it over with. The entire process was actually pretty simple. I was referred to a trans-friendly clinic in Padova by a friend online. They referred me to the clinic SAT Pink. I'm gonna link them down below because they were super helpful. They were so sweet and so genuine. I had a Skype call with them in November, and we just discussed, you know, how long I've been on testosterone, if I've had top surgery, is all my stuff legally changed. After that Skype call, they sent me a list of nearby trans-friendly doctors, and all I had to do was just pick the one that I wanted. I just picked the closest one. Then all I had to do was call the doctor's office, make an appointment, and go see him. The doctor himself was also super nice, very genuine guy. All we did was like a quick, simple checkup, and then we just went over my documents. He asked me a couple questions about my transition. Then he just wrote me my prescription and an order for blood work and sent me on my way. Super quick, super easy. I'm very, very lucky that it has been like that. Now I'm very grateful that I've been able to go through this process so quickly. Even though I never really had a bad experience when I lived in Texas, it was never very consistent, because when I was going to Planned Parenthood, yes, they did informed consent, so I didn't have to really worry about the whole doctor's process. All I had to do was sign a waiver. It was just very inconsistent. Their care was not the top quality that I expected from them. Their appointments were super expensive, and I couldn't always afford to go get blood work done. But if you didn't get blood work done regularly with them, they would not refill your prescriptions. So sometimes I would have to resort to getting testosterone from a buddy and having to pay him back, or I would just have to miss a couple shots until I could afford to go get blood work done. It was very stressful, especially as a college student. You know, I didn't want to have to worry about class, work, and my medications. I wanted something stable. So far, it seems like that is not going to be the case in Italy, which is a big, big relief. Because nobody wants to second guess whether they're going to be able to get their shot done, or whether they're going to be able to afford getting blood work done, or be able to afford to get their medication in the first place. So I feel like Italy has definitely proven to me that it's most likely going to be a more steady process. I've been on testosterone for over 3 years. I've had top surgery over a year ago, so I don't really have to worry about jumping through all the hoops that I did when I was in Texas and when I was just starting testosterone. Because back then, I didn't have my name and gender changed. I was just freshly 18, so I was still struggling with getting a well-paying job so that I could afford my medication, since my insurance and my family weren't paying for anything. I had to pay for everything out of my own pocket. So now, you know, I've got my own sources of income. I can pay for everything on my own, and everything is legally changed. I've been medically transitioning for so long. I don't have to convince a doctor that I need to transition. I just had to tell them, hey, I've been medically transitioning for such and such amount of time and I would like to continue to medically transition. So I feel like that is a big reason as to why my process here in Italy has been so smooth. This has just been my experience. If you're just starting your medical transition, if you're just now trying to start testosterone, it may be a bit more difficult for you. So if you guys have any other questions or any other points that you would like me to talk about or answer or anything like that, you can comment them down below and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Or you can DM me on Instagram if you want to be a little bit more private. That's totally fine as well. I am going to link SAT Pink's website in the description box so that you guys can check it out if you live in the area. I would definitely recommend checking them out. They were super sweet, super kind, and helpful. I think if you find the right clinic and if you find the right doctor, they're gonna make sure that it goes as smoothly as possible for you. That's pretty much all I'm gonna talk about in today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see y'all in the next one.